evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Woodbridge, the best town around. My name is John McCormick. I'm the mayor of this great town, and we're here tonight for a couple of reasons. The first one of which is to recognize the Woodbridge Township Fire Officers Association Bruce Turcott Firefighter of the Year Award for 2019. Brian Turcott, Bruce's son, is in the audience. I'd like to ask him to come up and join me as we present the Firefighter of the Year to Justin Holloway of Port Reading Fire Department, Fire District Number 2, and Fords Fire Company Number 1. Justin Holloway. And every year this association in Bruce's memory, who passed away many years ago fighting a fire in the Menlo Park Terrace section of Woodbridge, every year they recognize a firefighter. And I'll just read from the proclamation a little bit. The 2019 Bruce A. Turcott Firefighter of the Year Award is presented to firefighter Justin Holloway, career firefighter, Port Reading Fire Department, Fire District Number 2, and former Captain, Fords Fire Company Number 1, in recognition of his commitment and service to the Woodbridge Township firefighting community. Whereas firefighter Justin Holloway entered the Woodbridge Township Fire Service in 2008 as a volunteer firefighter with Fords and became fully engaged in the fire company, rising to the rank of captain. In 2014, firefighter Justin Holloway entered full-time career firefighting service with Port Reading Fire Department, Fire District 2, and advanced his service career, earning certifications as fire inspector, fire official, fire service instructor level 2, and emergency medical technician. Firefighter Holloway stands as co-chairman for philanthropic efforts representing fire service fundraising efforts to the benefit of the Woodbridge Township Domestic Violence Response Team and Rally for Ryan, which is Ryan Terabetsky, a young man about 8 years old who is ill but doing phenomenal. We've all seen him in the last couple of weeks. He looks great. And whereas Holloway is honored before fellow firefighters, peers, community, and family, and it's my honor to present this proclamation to Justin and congratulate him for a great career as a firefighter working in Woodbridge Township. Thank you, sir. Wait, move this over. Get that out of the way. First, let me ask Brian, would you like to say anything? No, I guess you got that to present too.
It's just an honor to be able to be here once again this year presenting an award to an outstanding member of the fire service in honor of my father. It's just great to be able to keep his legacy going, and hopefully we can continue year after year. So I'd like to thank all the brother and sisters from the emergency services coming out and showing support today. Thank you.
Did you care to say anything?
Yes, thank you. I just want to say to Brian and the Turcott family, thank you. It was really an honor to get this. I'm sure your father would be very proud of you today. Saw you yesterday, unfortunately, always staying involved in everything. Special thank you to Captain Paul DeLeo from Port Reading and Chief Howie BAUER from Fords for the nomination, and thank you for choosing me. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be involved in fire service in this township, in Port Reading Fords, and now in Colonia and Island also as a fire inspector, so look forward to continuing. Thank you.
Congratulations. Let me introduce the council and other members who are up here at the dais. To the far right is Councilman-at-Large Brian Small, former policeman, former Port Reading fireman, current captain of the Port Reading First Aid Squad. Councilman-at-Large Greg FICARRA, First Ward Councilwoman Nancy DRUMM, covering Woodbridge and Seawarren. Fifth Ward Councilwoman Debbie Meehan, covering Colonia. Second Ward Councilman Howie BAUER, covering Fords, Hope Lawn, and Caseby. And current fire chief of Fords Fire Company, at least for a few more days, right? 2 weeks, all right. Counting down. LIZBETH DEJESUS, Councilwoman-at-Large, current council vice president, and with any luck, in 2 weeks she'll be named the council president for 2020. Current council president, covering the 3rd Ward of Avenel and Port Reading, CORY SPILLAR, who gives this up in 2 weeks and has done an outstanding job, and we have tonight to talk about that at the meeting. And of course, from our police department, Deputy Director Joe Niski and Director Bob Hubner. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being out. All right, so why we're here tonight and why so many people are in the audience. Back several weeks ago, there was a catastrophe in Woodbridge Township, a plane crash in Colonia. a lot of people deserve a lot of credit for quick response. I remember I was at Woodbridge High School doing a press conference on the can drive, and as I'm talking to somebody on the camera, just car after car, truck after truck, whizzing by with their lights on. Then finally got the call, plane crash in Colonia, multiple houses engaged. That's all I heard. I didn't know if it was a 747 or single-engine Cessna. I didn't know how many houses. But we got out there and saw that the situation was under control. I know absolutely nothing about firefighting. I know absolutely nothing about emergency management. But I can tell you when someone does know what they're doing. And I've seen enough emergency situations in town that when you see somebody leading the charge, leading the effort to make sure everything is coordinated, you can tell when that person knows what they're doing. You can tell when that person is doing a good job. And you can tell by the way everybody reacts to their leadership. You can tell by the way everybody responds to their direction. It was just an amazing scene when I was out there just watching, staying out of the way, but watching this young man, Michael Pirozzoli, from the Colonia Fire Department. I don't know how old you are, man, but you don't look much over 21. How old are you? 29. He's not much older than 29. Michael, come on. Michael Pirozzoli, please come up. I haven't seen him since then. I don't think I knew him very well before that. Okay. But just watching him in action. Now, you're second lieutenant. You're a volunteer. You were first on the scene, and you assumed command.
Yes.
Have you ever, come on closer for the mic, have you ever commanded anything like this before?
No, nothing of that size or
What is
magnitude.
what is the best, highest, and best? That's a bad word. They're all bad. What is the most significant event that you assumed command on in your career?
I had a rollover on the Parkway where we had to extricate a victim out and land a helicopter on the Parkway simultaneously. That's probably the most extensive thing I've done while being in Colonia.
This is your biggest, the three-house fire is certainly your biggest fire.
By far.
All right, tell me what you were thinking when you got to the scene. First of all, you guys were close by.
We were.
You were on training.
That's correct.
It was very fortunate. They tell me they got water in that fire so fast it was a record time.
Yeah, I was actually the second or third person who arrived. Actually, Michael Garrett, who's here tonight as well, was on the first arriving engine, and he got a lot of the hard legwork out of the way. He got water on the fire within minutes. The police officers that were there also helped, but my first thought going there was, man, I hope help gets here quick, because it's not something you see every day.
Right.
3 houses involved, someone said a plane. My first thought was what you said, is it a 747, is it a single-engine plane? But I had an awesome supporting cast. I had a lot of people who just instinctively knew what to do, and it made my job a lot.
But you got there and you instantly knew you were in charge.
Yeah, I knew I was the highest-ranking person who was going to be there, and I knew someone had to be in charge, and nobody else was there, so it's going to have to be me.
If somebody, you're second, so if the first lieutenant or the captain got there, they would have assumed charge?
Yeah, if somebody higher was there, they could have relieved me of command, and
So
they would have been in charge.
how long were you in command?
I was the whole duration of the incident. So from when
overnight?
Yeah, we were there till about midnight. So I would say from when a call came in, like 10 o'clock, I think. So 10 o'clock to about midnight, I was in charge.
Now tell me what training you get to, I mean, you're in a volunteer position, you can work your way up up the ranks, but what do you need to have to become the second lieutenant? What do you need to have to become the captain?
So the state requires that you have to be a minimum of having your firefighter 1 cert for 3 years, and then you have to take certain incident level. You have to take like incident command 100, 200, and then 300, and it's all like, situational awareness classes and, stuff like that. And just your years of experience and just, being surrounded by the right people to help, guide you. And as you advance for lieutenant, captain, your responsibilities and your roles get higher and higher. And this was certainly, trial by fire.
And I said it to one of the reporters that there's no textbook for plane crash. You look up chapter 4, what do you do in a plane crash?
No, there certainly is.
There's nothing like that.
Right, you can't open up a textbook and go to, and say, oh, it's a plane crash, I should do this. It's just, your training just kind of, kicks in. You just, you just go right to, life safety and property conservation, and it all worked. It wasn't just me. Like I said, I had an awesome supporting cast that made my job a lot easier. They took a lot of pressure off me, just everybody knowing what to do and just going right into that mode.
But you're the one who decided right across the street, you set up your command central post and you took charge from that position.
Yeah.
That was your decision.
Yeah, you normally, when any major incident, you want to be kind of right in the front, kind of take a 360 view of what's going on. I just chose that spot. I had a good view of everything that was going on, and like I said, Mike Garrett is here tonight. He had it going right from the get-go. The decisions he made initially made my job a lot easier.
Sounds like you should get a proclamation next meeting. But we'll talk about that. So now you had a whole bunch of other units, other companies that responded.
Yes.
Some that you didn't even know were coming, from what I heard.
Yeah, it was a we're like a finely tuned machine. The hardest part was, once everybody's coming, was to decide, okay, what do I have, who do I need, who can I use here, who can I use there. The incident initially is this big, then it gets this big, and then it comes, back down here. So it's like, like you're the conductor of an orchestra trying to figure out, what do I need? Where's it all
That's a
going?
good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Well, I don't know. You're a 29-year-old guy taking command of that scene with, I'd say, not maximum experience, some experience, but not a whole lot.
Yeah,
I think it's remarkable. I just think the job you did was remarkable. Again, I know nothing about what you did. I just could tell you were in control and doing it right. And it's just, you can see it. You can just see it.
I've been a fireman for about 7 years now, but I've only been with Colony for 2. I've had really good mentors ever since I got there. Guys took me underneath my wing, and they have just pointed me in the right direction and just helped me along the way. I never really was going to be an officer in Colonia, and then a couple people said, hey, you know what, you make the right decisions, you got good head on your shoulders, I think you'd be good for this. And I took their advice, I went for it, and
Well, thank goodness you did, because you did a great job that day. So congratulations,
I
man. Appreciate it. It is good to know that we have people like this in Woodbridge Township that are ready to go out, in a moment's notice and do the job that you did. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, if you can stay up here, we're going to bring some of your comrades up, and we're going to call each fire company, if you could each send one person up. Sorry? Oh, the letter, I'm sorry. Where's the letter? I want to read a letter. I'll do that first. Right. From the National Transportation Safety Board in Washington, D.C., the Office of Aviation Safety, and it's addressed re-airplane accident, blah, blah. Dear Mayor McCormick, I would like to sincerely thank you for the support we received during the on-scene portion of our recent plane crash investigation in Colonia, New Jersey. We would like to especially thank OEM Office of Emergency Management Chief Pat Kenny, Detective Michael Barbado, that's police Detective Brian Vella, Fire Official William Schleck, and Woodbridge Township Division of Public Works employees Robert Bindos, Brian Zalazar, and Craig McKenzie. The support these individuals provided to my investigation team in securing the site, managing the media, gathering audio and video evidence, providing heavy machinery, and assisting in sifting through and extracting wreckage greatly contributed to our investigative efficiency and progress. At our Eastern Region outside office in Washington, D.C. reads the motto, "From tragedy we draw knowledge to improve the safety of us all." Your team helped us advance our mission, and we are grateful for the professionalism and hospitality provided to us. Sincerely, Adam Gerhardt, Air Safety Investigator, National Transportation Safety Board. This is a letter from a Washington, D.C. inspector who saw us and told us that they have never, ever had the cooperation at a scene of a fire, or scene of a plane crash, I should say, than they saw in Woodbridge Township. Our public works guys were out, the police were helpful, the fire companies, the first aid, everybody was helpful. And they said they don't write these letters very, very often. In fact, they write them very infrequently. So when I say we're the best town around, everybody on October 29th and the days that succeeded that proved it. I don't make this up because I'm a politician saying things I just feel like saying. I say that because we are the best town around, and the people in this room proved it, and we got recognized by somebody in Washington who deals with plane crashes all over the country, and he literally said that he'd never seen support like this. So we'd like now to call up again one from each house. You don't have to speak, but I would like to get a group picture, and then we'll ask some of the people from Colonia to also speak. So, Joe, if you could help me with the proclamations. This one's yours. I don't know who's next.
He's got Colonia.
Oh, you got Colonias. Oh, all
Somebody
right.
else from Colonia?
Anybody else from Colonia want to come up? Vin, you want to come up? Vinny Pereira? Yes, sir. Woodbridge Police Department? Bob will take that. All right. Thank you, Bob. Woodbridge Fire Department? John Golden. Thank you. Port Reading Fire Company, number 1. Who's taking this one? Oh, Justin's here, he'll take it, yeah, come on. Casby Fire Department. Oh, they're at the fire at Bay Shore Recycling, so they won't be here. Avenel Fire Department. If Corey Spiller will take that one. Ford's Fire Company, number 1. What's up? How are you? Poor Dennis Henry retired December 1st, and he's back here tonight already at a council meeting. He's done council meetings for 14 years. Had the first one off was going to be tonight, and he's back tonight representing Ford's Fire Company. Hope Lawn Engine Company, number 1, Bob Gillespie. Island Fire Company, number 1. Who's in the house from Island? Oh. And we have Island Chemical Hook and Ladder. Anyone not here? Okay. Colonia First Aid Squad. George Riley. Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad. Nope. Port Reading First Aid Squad. Nope. And Woodbridge Township Ambulance and Rescue Squad, Anthony Mercado. Port Reading, okay. Congratulations. If you guys don't mind, we're going to get a group picture, so if you can all kind of, oh, we got more, I'm sorry. Station 7 Dispatch Center, Ford's Fire. Were you on that night?
I was.
You were?
Yes, I was.
You got the first call?
We handled it, yes.
Come here, tell me about it. You should have said no, Mayor, it wasn't me.
That's okay.
No, so you got the very first call that came in?
No, 911, Woodbridge Police got the first call.
Okay,
that
so then
come
it
in,
comes to you.
And then it comes to us.
Okay.
And we handled it from there. It came in as a unknown type fire, and very quickly, one of the very first notes was a plane into a building. I had to read it twice to see exactly what that was. I had a trainee with me, so he got to see a lot, and I would like to share the recognition with my partner and all of the dispatchers there. I think they all do a phenomenal job.
So do we, thank you.
Thank you.
The CERT team, Woodbridge Community Emergency Response Team, Joe Formola. And he's, as I said, Dennis Henry's in the house. He was the Director of Public Works up until November 30th. I guess you're going to accept this, or George Brew, the current Director of Public Works? Both of you come up. You know, just when you think you're out, we drag you back in, man.
I won't be here for the council meeting.
Is that?
I won't be here for the council.
Oh, you won't be here for the council meeting, all right. Gentlemen, thank you. Louis part of our team. Oh, Louis part of the team, okay. Is that all the proclamations? All right, can we get everybody to get toward the middle? And, you know, half in the back, half in the front, size order. Yeah. And then I'm going to bring up, thank you.
Kind of shift down this way, more center, please.
Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Perfect.
Now, if I get a mayor and council step in, please, Joe and Bob.
I'm a little taller.
Yeah, get a little tighter.
I know. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Hey, nice job, man. Very nice job.
I appreciate it.
Terrific job.
Thank you.
I wasn't prepared to speak.
You should have known, man. I always make people speak.
Take it easy.
All right, Johnny, you too. All right, if I could, folks, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We have the residents of 84 Berkeley, Jerry and Teresa Kmiotek. Their little daughter, Sophie, who's just a wonderful, beautiful little girl, 6-year-old that goes to Claremont School, is not with them. I wish she was, because she'd steal the show. And Doug Zabo, who is the resident of 88 Berkeley. Would you folks like to come up? Did you say something? It's all yours.
Hi, so my name is Teresa Kmiotek. This is my husband and our neighbor Douglas. We were the ones that were affected by the plane. I wanted to bring Sophie, but she's just getting over a cold. So sorry. Thank you very much for inviting us. We were the direct hit. My husband and I were the ones that the home was directly. Exactly. So I wrote a little bit of something just so that I can express, how I feel. So when Mayor McCormick and Councilwoman MEEHAN asked my husband and I to attend this council meeting in order to honor the first responders, we immediately said yes. I then began thinking of the right words to say in order to express our gratitude. And I promised I wouldn't cry. So I have to. Last week, a friend forwarded me a YouTube video that showed raw drone footage and initial dispatch audio. The words I wanted to say became clear. As I listened to the audio, I totally broke down. Actually, for the first time, because being in shock for so long, that just hit home. A flood of emotions came over me. I was sobbing, not because of the loss of our home, but of the loss of the life that occurred. And also how close my parents and I came to losing our lives. So as you know, I was supposed to be home that day to attend a trunk or treat for my 5-year-old. And work called and I actually left. And my parents were there, but they received a phone call that their car was ready to be picked up from the shop because somebody hit them the week prior, and the phone rang and they left, and soon after the airplane hit. So that was pretty miraculous that all happened. Material objects can be replaced, however, people cannot. As a nurse educator, I always ask the staff, are we here to be ordinary or to be extraordinary? On October 29, you were all extraordinary. Everything that you have trained for was put to the test in an instant. What should have been a chaotic environment turned out to be an extremely organized and efficient scene. If not for your efficiency, many more homes and property would have been affected. I will never forget the voice of Officer Harris asking me where I was and if anyone was in the house as I was driving home from work. Thankfully, no one was there. I'll never forget the police that secured the scene and kept all the media at bay. The firefighters who surrounded the 3 homes and fought the fire, just watching that on the drone footage was overwhelming to see, how you were, fighting the blaze. And the first responders who provided us with blankets, chairs, water, and a canopy over our heads when we arrived at the scene. They not only took care of us, but they took care of our family and friends as well. And I know my neighbor who was also affected, she had 2 little dogs and they were taking care of her dogs, which was really sweet. From leadership to the dispatchers, to the fire and police departments, to all of the first responders on the scene, we want you to know what a difference you make in so many people's lives. Your bravery, skill, and passion are testaments to all the lives you save. Thank you.
1
Hey guys, my name is Doug Lazaro. I'm at 88 Berkeley Avenue. And I just want to say thank you for putting your lives on the line every day in order to save lives around you. And a special thanks for all you did to save my home from ruin. I am grateful to each and every one of you. Merry Christmas.
So once again, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Angel Councilwoman. Thank you, Martha, for all you guys' help. Thank you.
I also want to thank the generosity of so many people in Woodbridge. There were so many drives that different organizations put together. We brought a check to all three families about 2.5 weeks ago. We just gave them the balance of the money tonight. It was a remarkable collection of funds that they can use as they try to get on with their lives. And I guess your house, you and 80 are going to be fixed. Yes. And you said at one point you're rebuilding there? Are you still rebuilding there?
We're gonna do, next thing we're gonna do is testing, make sure there's no contaminants.
Okay.
And if that comes clear, or after that, we will rebuild it.
Rebuild right on the site?
Right.
Well, that's great. That's great news. That's great news. Councilwoman Meehan, if you want to say a few words as the host councilwoman in Colonia.
I could stand here for hours and tell you about what that day was about and the weeks following, and sorry, I'm choked up now because you talked.
I feel it too.
But that day I got on the scene very early. I was called, and I saw just from the police department and the fire department, there were people running to the scene that didn't know if they lost their homes or if there were people in the houses, their animals. They didn't know who was safe, who wasn't safe. And the police department handled them with such kid gloves and such kindness, and the fire department was just running past us. And it was chaotic. It was a controlled chaos. And everybody did such a fantastic job. And I know you guys, you put your lives and women on the lot, you know, every single day you put your lives out there, and we truly, truly appreciate everything you do for us. And just a shout out to the community. We spent a day over at the Evergreen Center from 9 till 5 o'clock collecting donations and things for the families. And the people that came up and that were crying and just handing things, and I would ask, do you know the family? And they go, no, but they're from Colonia, and it could have been any of us. So just the kindness. I tell you, I could stand here for hours telling you about it, but just everybody did so much, and it really makes something that was so dark and scary and horrible so bright and caring, and that's what this community is about. And I could say it again and again, how humbled it is to be a councilwoman and a council person. I know my teammates would agree how great it is to represent such a fantastic town. So thank you to everybody that's put so much into that day. So thank you.
Bank of America has a branch in Colonia, and Longenhagen is here from the bank. Would you like to come up? You want to make a presentation to the families? Boy, they brought the whole bank branch. I guess you're not open tonight.
No, we're closed.
Is Jessica coming? Aw. Here they come. Yeah. So as the mayor mentioned, my name is Ann Longenhagen. I'm a relationship banker at Bank of America on Inman Avenue in Colonia. We were open. We immediately heard what happened. We knew there was that we would have to do something. Coincidentally, Jessica, where is Jessica? Jessica in the back, she is our market leader for the Central Middlesex market. And at the end of the year, we always have a project or something that we take on. And she asked for suggestions, and there really was no need for suggestions because the first thing that came to mind was this tragedy. So we took our entire market budget, and we said, what are we going to do with this? So what we did was we gathered everyday items that we thought you might be able to use to help you with the transition. So we purchased pots and pans and crock pots and linens and, anything that we thought would be helpful. We have a special bag for your daughter. I'm so sorry she's not here because I would have loved to have met her. We've met both of them. They're clients of ours. Doug, we heard a lot about you. We have items for you as well. And Joanne, we have items for her pets. So we really tried to incorporate everything that we could. We want to extend that it doesn't end here today. If we can be of any help to you, I know we've spoken, you've come into the branch. Doug, if there's anything we can ever do for you as well, we are part of the community, we're here for you. So again, on behalf of the Central Middlesex Market, we'd like to make some donations. Most of the stuff is still downstairs in the police department because it was just too much to bring up, but we have a bag for each of you to present to you at this moment. Thank you. And Mayor, thank you for giving us the opportunity. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys come on over, all get together, we'll do a quick picture.
Can I have families and Ann more in the center, please? Yeah. You guys move over this way, please.
We don't need a mayor's picture, we don't need a council. All right, smile.
Get in a little tighter, please. There you go.
Thank you, John, I really
All right,
appreciate
no
it.
problem, no problem. I just want to close by again saying thank you to everybody who participated. As Debbie said, the fund drives were tremendous. I think my favorite one was the two little boys who, instead of trick-or-treating, brought around a can and collected money. And $562.15, somehow I remember that number, that they collected. It was remarkable that 8, 9, and 10-year-old kids can think of something like that at a time, when their neighbors need the help. It just shows what a great town we have when the kids of our town think like that. It's just remarkable. So, again, thanks to everybody, fire, first aid, EMTs, CERT, police, everybody who helped, everybody that made that tragedy as not as good as it was. That's a bad word, but it could have been a whole lot worse. Though that fire was on 3 homes, it could have been 33. But for the quick action of everybody who got out there. And again, it's just absolutely remarkable that nobody on the ground was hurt. So thanks again for everything you all do to make us the best town around. Thanks. Oh, go ahead.
I just also want to give a shout out to Detective Barbato's daughter, Emily.
Oh, right. The
So
keychain girl.
the detective was on the scene for a good part of the day, and he got home and he explained what had happened. And his little girl is the same age as Sophia, and she wanted to do something because she knew that the little girl had lost all her toys. So she knew they both like unicorns, so her dad went and purchased a whole bunch of unicorn keychains, and they went on to sell them. And I think at this point, I'm not even sure.
200, I think
Yeah, I
they
think
said
it's
it.
well over that now, so they sell, I think this week they're selling them at the church. But it was just the kindness of this one little girl, and just wanted to do something kind for another little girl. So you know what? We raise good kids, we start them out young, they grow up to be great people and take care of each other. And I know they want to meet you probably this week, so, but I wanted to give a shout out to
All
her
right,
too.
no problem.
So.
All right. Thank you very much.
Good evening, call council meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance and please stand for a moment of silence while our military personnel start the proceedings. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated.
Notice requirements of the open public meeting law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home Distributor of the Starlight Republic of the notice on December 21st, 2018. It was posted on the municipal bulletin board. It should be so noted in the minutes of this meeting. Councilman Anderson.
Here.
Councilman FICARRA.
Here.
Councilwoman DRUMM.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Here.
Councilman Patel. Councilman Bauer.
Here.
Vice President DeJesus.
Here.
And President Spiller.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of November 25th, 2019?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances tonight, we'll start with letter A, which is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic, and this is with regards to handicap parking on Stamford Avenue in Colonia. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter A, letter B.
All right.
Hearing no comment from the public, I will motion that the public hearing be closed. Yours be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter B is ordinance establishing user fees with regards to the Woodbridge Recreation Department. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter B only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter C is also an ordinance amending Chapter 7, revised ordinance of the Township of Woodbridge, and this is with regards to residential permit parking. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter C only. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. President, on the resolutions, you have numbers 1 through 16. Can I get a motion by consent to approve 1 through 16?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. We'll now move to the public portion of the meeting. Please approach the microphone if you like. State the area of the township you live in or part of the state, and there's a 5-minute time.
Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion to close this portion of the meeting?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. Mayor, I believe you have a report.
Thank you, Council President. We have a long list of things that have happened since the last council meeting. I can't necessarily identify people with them like we always do. We had a busy day today getting ready for tonight's presentation, but I'll do as best I can. The Marissa Tafaro Foundation Bowling Classic in Majestic Lanes, run by Councilman Small, and his daughter, who runs the bowling teams there, did an unbelievable job, and that led right to the Port Reading tree lighting, where Greg Tafaro came and gave an unbelievable speech about what it meant to him when his daughter was in the hospital sick and had no toys for Christmas, and they got some from a group like this, so it was tremendous. Woodbridge Animal Group pet photos at Parker Press. The holiday parade was a rainy, cold mess, but we had fun. 25 minutes, 1:35, we got off, and 2 o'clock we were in front of the stage. We just walked straight and never stopped and tried to get out of the cold rain, but everybody had a good time. Chamber of Commerce luncheon, new officers were inducted. We welcomed the Golf Den at the Club of Woodbridge. It is a great facility for people to practice and play courses from all over the world. The Billiards Club had an amazing program to collect toys for kids, and then a week later they had the kids there. Terry Falco from the club did a wonderful job. Sunday night was David's Touch, 10th annual toy drive celebration. Councilman FICARRA was one of the speakers there. It took them hours and hours and hours to get all the toys loaded up. It was amazing. Nancy Drumm ran a breakfast for Nicole Fitzpatrick, at the Woodbridge Elks. Our police department had about 24 officers at Walmart with, I believe it was 17 or 18 families of kids. They all had a gift card. They walked around with their calculators and let the kids pick what they wanted, toys and clothes, and deducted it as they went, and it was just a remarkable effort by all the men and women of our police department. Woodbridge High School finished off its 10-1 football season with the banquet. The Stars, special needs adults over 21, had their Christmas party, as did everybody. Also tree lightings in Colonia, Island, and St. James. In Island, the Indian Business Association had their Christmas spectacular. The Woodbridge Community Choir had a concert last week at the First Presbyterian Church of Woodbridge. Woodbridge Fire had their Christmas party. The Chamber of Commerce, we welcomed Kim's Cuts to Avenel. The Colonia Elks had their party. several concerts all over the town. The kids in all the schools had concerts. And Santa Claus, I don't know how he managed to spend so much time in Woodbridge. He's got a whole big world to take care of, but he must have been here. I think I was with him, I'd say, at least 15 times. So I don't know, I mean, I know why. He knows we're the best town around, and he wants to spend time here. He reads the clips. I think he gets our newsletter. I think he follows our Facebook page. I think he checks our website, so he knows how special this town is, and he is here all the time. And thank you very much. And while I'm here, before I leave, I just want to congratulate Council President CORY SPILLAR for his leadership this year as a council president. Election years are always difficult. Mayor election years are even more difficult because the council meetings tend to get crazy. And suddenly after the election, they disappear. I don't know how that works. But also, it was a very busy year because of the 350th anniversary of the town. There were so many different events, and there were so many things that happened in town. We just had a great ceremony where we honored all the police, fire, first aid, EMTs, and CERT team members who responded to the fire in Colonia and Berkeley Drive when the plane crashed. The families came and they poured out their hearts to thank everybody for what happened there. It was wonderful. But Councilman, you did a terrific job leading this group. I marvel at the way meetings are held, the way things get done at our council meetings when I read about other towns and their council meetings, which are not as, let's say, acrimonious, controversial, confrontational. We're anything but. And thanks to you, we had a very smooth year. Everybody says what they have to say. Everybody works on the issues. We come out and we all work together for the benefit of people. And I think it's thanks to your leadership. So thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple things on my agenda, but I really appreciate all the support and work from yourself and the administration. Great report. Once again, thank you to all my fellow councilmates on your hard work and dedication. I will now move to the agenda portion of the meeting. My agenda is in order. I'd just like to thank my fellow councilmates for a great year during my council presidency. You gave me your faith and trust, and it's something I really treasure. I really enjoyed this year. I want to thank again the mayor, the administration, all the directors, the departments, Mr. Mitch, yourself, and the girls from the clerk's office. I'd like to wish Council Vice President DeJesus. I'm sure you'll do fantastic as council president in 2020. You were a loyal soldier for me. You helped me out a lot. You're solid as a council vice president, so thank you. And once again, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah. Enjoy whatever you might be celebrating, and we'll see you in 2020. Thank you. Council Vice President DeJesus.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda is in order. I would like to thank you, CORY, because I feel like I learned a lot this year. I don't want to say lucky. The people of Avenel are blessed to have you as their council person because you truly came in 4 years ago and took the reins for Avenel and Port Reading, and you haven't stopped. Your heart is there. Your work shows it. Your dedication shows it. And I'm really thankful that we get to sit here and be a part of your endeavors. As a council president, I think you had a fantastic year. You led us with integrity and honesty. And again, thank you for letting me be your vice president. I look forward to working with you next year. And Feliz Navidad, Prospero Año Nuevo, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you, Council Vice President. Councilwoman Meehan.
Thank you. My agenda is in order also. CORY, you did a great job this year. I know I was president last year, and there are days that are very difficult, and things come up, and they really challenge you. And I think as being a president, you become a stronger council person because you see things from all different angles. And you did a fantastic job leading us this year. And I know the next president coming in will do just as fantastic. So thank you for your leadership this year. And I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything, and be healthy and find peace in the new year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Meehan. Councilwoman Drummond.
Thank you, Council President. Congratulations on a job well done. I was looking for an adjective. I guess the only one I could come up with was bold, and you were very bold. You were steady, and you came here prepared, and it was my pleasure to sit with you and under your leadership for the past year. And Lizbeth, I look forward to having you as our next president in 2020. I just wanted to, my agenda's in order. I just, of course, the mayor mentioned the many things that happened, and we had the police and the fire and the EMS here prior to our meeting, and you know, it's so many things have happened in the last several months, and to me, being in the middle of some of the fundraisers and the toy drives and the amazing things that I saw in the last couple of months leading up to Christmas, I just wanted to say thank you to all of our police, our fire, our EMS, our administration, and my council mates for all working together for the good of the cause, to better our community, to help our needy families. And you know, to me, it's such an honor to be part of this entire situation and the endeavor that everybody puts forth. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Trump. Councilman Anderson.
Council President, my agenda is in order. I would like to congratulate you on a successful year. You led our team very well. You kept us informed, and you brought the team together in unison. So I'd just like to congratulate you. Upcoming Council President, I wish you luck, and I want to wish everyone a happy holiday season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Anderson. Councilman FICARRA.
Council President, you served with distinction. Job well done. Thank you for your service. A couple of quick timely items over at the Community Center as we approach the new year. There is an opportunity from January 6th to January 10th for a 3-day trial at the Community Center. That's for non-members. If you join, there's a waiver of the joiner fee throughout 2020. Also, parents sometimes face a dilemma during the Christmas holiday, December 26th, 27th, December 30th. The students are out of school, but parents sometimes work. There is full day from 6 a.m. Let me make sure I have this right. 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Good, safe, and fun child care. And I'd just like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday season, and stay safe. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman FICARRA. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Council President. Number 14 on my agenda, Mayor's Max Cafe. I just want to remind the public to please try to get over there. Go have a late breakfast or a nice lunch. It's a tremendous place to go to see our young special needs residents working there as waitresses and waiters. It's very rewarding, and the food's very good also. So please, Mayor Max Cafe, 881 West Avenue in Port Reading, and they're open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. I urge you all to go give it a try. I just want to, first of all, thank everybody who participated in the Port Reading First Aid and Fire Christmas tree lighting and toy drive. It was a tremendous success. I'm so proud of our membership. To be able to bring them toys to Robert Wood was just incredible, and just hope for a bigger and better and more successful outing next year. And to the Council President, Corey, I can't thank you enough for, first of all, your friendship, but your guidance through this year. It wasn't an easy year. Some people came here with an axe to grind, often spewing out stuff that wasn't true, but you stayed steadfast and you did a great job, and you led us with credibility, and we appreciate everything you've done. To LIZBETH, wish you nothing but the best of luck next year as president. Looking forward to working with you and all my council mates. And God bless the first responders out there in Woodbridge Township. You're the best. And God bless America. Happy holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Small. And once again, congratulations. All your organizations really came together for the foundation, and it was really something special to take part in. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Patel is excused. Councilman Bauer.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda's in order. I'd like to wish you a job well done, and thank you for your leadership and guidance this year, and wish you all the best to Councilwoman Elizabeth DeJesus on her presidency next year. I'd like to thank my fellow councilmate and administration for all they do support us to go in the year, and Mr. Mitch and his fine group for all they do for us too. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Bauer. Mr. Mitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. My agenda is in order. Also, thank you for a great year, and probably more importantly, the kindness you show the secretaries of my office, and I really appreciate that. And best wishes to LIZBETH. I look forward to working with you next year.
Thank you, Mr. Mitch. Senator Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. President. With respect to the bid for a truck, that will be on for the meeting on the 1st, as well as the street vacation. The rest is technical in nature, and I want to also just say to you that my congratulations for a job well done. And something that I think hasn't been said, but it's so respected and so much admired by those of us that get the little emails to different things come up. You always say thank you, you always say job well done, and you always make sure that everybody knows how much you appreciate it. And that really means a lot to a lot of people that get that. So I just wanted to point that out and say thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, Senator. I appreciate it. Director Hogan.
Thank you, Council President. Our proposal to remove 4 handicap spaces that are no longer used. We're going to be adding 3 handicap parking spaces throughout town, relocating one that's an existing space, and I have an amendment to the bus stop ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Green.
I don't have anything tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Director Simula.
Nothing tonight. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Director. Director Doran.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. Director Brew, welcome.
Thank you, Council President. My agenda's in order.
Thank you, Director. Oh, go for it. It's 7:15.
Did you beat the record?
I think so. I will look for a motion.
Motion.
Second. Meeting.